Federal income tax, the 16th Amendment, was ratified on February 3rd, 1913. And while income tax may be a little bit confusing, it's basically money you don't want to give to the government for a job you never wanted to do. It's like a gym membership without the whole health part. I only hope that income tax exceeds the rates on cigarettes because working is a terrible habit. Being honest on your tax return is a red flag. You're probably here illegally and you might get deported. In 1913, only 1% of the population actually paid income tax. They were historically known as the morons. Tax comes from the Latin taxatum, which means poorly timed direction. Tax is a product of the patriarchy, and upstanding women like myself will not stand for this bullshit. I'm not shaving my pits. Donald Trump is worse than Mao Zedong. Dong is a phallic symbol, and it's another product of the patriarchy. We will not stand by and deal with this fucking shit. I'm gonna start burning. If you report a company for tax evasion, you receive 30% of the money collected from that company. Then you spend the rest of your life living in a third world country waiting for a bullet in the back of your head. Federal tax code is 70,000 pages long, and I don't want to spoil it, but it ends with you dying. Federal tax code is actually much longer than the Bible and far more terrifying. People hide their money in Swiss bank accounts because it's basically like tax evasion. It's estimated that $32 trillion are held in Swiss bank accounts. Use your tax refund to hire 4 or 5 gardeners. It's what the founding fathers would have wanted, except they wouldn't have called them gardeners. There should be a tax on shitting in a public bathroom because every time you do it, you leave the bathroom like, you know what, I should probably give back to society. There should be a tax for children in adult places. I don't think any children in the PM hour should be younger than that of the hour. So no 5-year-olds at 6 o'clock, no 6-year-olds at 7 o'clock. I don't pay income taxes for the obvious reason, because I don't exist. I don't pay because carpal tunnel keeps me from rolling my pennies. I don't pay because Satan is my certified public accountant, because I'm an undocumented New Yorker. Turning tricks in a neon is under the table, because I'm a dependent. Granted, it's on pills. Because I contribute nothing to society. Because I'm schizophrenic. I'm an inmate. I'm homeless. Because your fucking daughter's in the trunk of my car. I don't pay because my dog ate my W-2. There's no I in income. I'm an illiterate college graduate. What the fuck are you looking at? Regrets. Tourette's. I'm a child in the body of a 34-year-old pill addict. Scott Bakula said Ziggy won't let me leap until I cut my penis off on webcam. Taxes get in the way of my criminal itinerary. Taxes? Where we're going, we don't need taxes. Paying taxes would be redundant, seeing as how I'm already a crippling burden on the taxpayer. Listen carefully, I shall say this only once. The Lucky Charms leprechaun is actually my biological father. Read my lips, no new taxes. Oh, by the way, your computer may self-destruct without warning. So I guess you've been warned. I'm the next contestant on The Price is Right. And I'm gonna play Plinko. I'm banned from using all federal postage services for mailing radioactive dildos to Vera House. Taxes? Frankly, my dear, I don't give a dime. So where do your taxes go?
According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
2.3 trillion with a T.
Wow, that sucks. $2.3 trillion lost. You figured that would be big news, seeing as how the bank bailout was actually a loan that they were paying back, was under $1 trillion. That was huge news. $2.3 trillion? No news at all. I wonder why it was conveniently announced the evening before September the 11th. I don't know. I'm not saying that's a conspiracy. I'm just saying the last news broadcast before the Twin Towers got hit was, oops, we lost all your money, $2.3 trillion. We could use a distraction. That's where your taxes go. They spent $2 million taxpayer dollars to see if 5-year-olds would eat Twinkies that got sneezed on. They could have done that for free, just challenge people on YouTube. $500,000 went to grave robbing, digging up corpses. And while I doubt they're fucking the corpses, they're definitely fucking the taxpayers. $1 million of your tax dollars went to one single Arlington, Virginia bus stop because transient vagrants need installation art to defecate on. And while they have Wi-Fi now, they're still reading their blankets. The State Department spent an astounding amount of money to study Twitter. My guess is the amount is so big it couldn't fit in a tweet. $704,000 went to the US ambassador to NATO for flowers. If you're unfamiliar with NATO, their work in the recent and less recent past has been killing darker skinned people in the Middle East. That's what they do. If you're unfamiliar with NATO, you can look them up on YouTube. You can look up NATO soldier throws puppy off a cliff. That's where your tax dollars go, to murder puppies. I'm sure somebody's gonna get mad about that, but it's a NATO action. I'm sure none of those flowers, $704,000 for flowers for an ambassador. I don't think any of the $704,000 in flowers went to family members of the civilian victims of the war in the Middle East. God forbid a weapon of mass destruction falls in the hands of somebody living in the wake of our mass destruction. $1.5 million goes to the FBI publicity unit. Yep, no selfie sticks for the Fed. You figure an intelligence unit would find something more intelligent to spend their money on. Maybe you shouldn't have fought civil rights. That would have saved a lot of money. $175 million annually goes to maintain vacant buildings while there's a separate budget to house homeless people. You think you could just cross? I guess they don't talk to each other. Your taxes go to pay for my medications, and while your taxes are high, they're not nearly as high as I am thanks to your donations. Money is like sex. If you have none of it, you get none of it, and if you have a lot of it, nobody wants to hear about it.